Toastmasters. I would like to start my icebreaker by talking about fear. Fear is the feeling that one experiences when they're in a situation they believe to be uncomfortable. Because of fear, many people have trouble carrying out goals they set in life or taking up opportunities. I myself am a very fearful person. I've noticed that I'm fearful at how others perceive and judge me. I've always wanted to please everyone, but I feel that leaves me voiceless in my community. Having found love for music, I feel that I can play in front of massive crowds without a sweat. But when it comes to carrying on a daily conversation, I struggle greatly. This comes up especially when I have to talk in front of an audience. For example, right now I'm trembling so hard that I could set off a nearby seismograph. Earlier in my life, I wasn't really bothered by my fear to speak and voicing my opinion in a strong manner. But this year I've gained quite a few leadership opportunities. For example, I've become the associate director for the Crescent Super Band, an elite group of musicians. This entails that I have to conduct the band, tune them, warm them up, and rehearse them. And this has proved a great problem because I sugarcoated everything, because I was afraid of how people would judge me if I told things how it is. I also feel that I have a lot of problem just getting my point across, communicating. For this reason, I feel that I did not step it up and take charge and become a leader, which really disappoints me. My timidnness has also really affected me around my friends. I feel that I can only really be myself around my closest friends, or someone I've known for a long time. I've noticed it also really hard when I really respect or admire someone and I want to become their friend. I usually start out being very quiet, apologizing a lot, and just being very shy and timid. But as time passes, I'm usually able to open up more and more slowly until I have a really close friend. I really wish I could just erase this process, though, and begin to say what's on my mind from the get-go. Because I fear people's perception of me, when I talk, I notice that I apologize a lot. If I say something that I think that could be taken in any way, in a wrong way, I'll apologize. Over time, it's become a bad habit, and a lot of the time, I don't even know what I'm apologizing about. One of my teachers actually had me tally how many times I apologized in a 24-hour period. Sadly, I ended up saying sorry 27 times. I used to like my timidness. I thought that it was a sure way to make as little enemies as possible. But this year, one of my teachers has really changed my outlook on this. Jim Fleming, one of my favorite teachers this year, is one of the most bizarre yet fun people I've met. One day in his class, he said something I don't think I'll ever forget. He said, "No matter what you do, you're always going to have someone who doesn't like you. For example, I know that there are many teachers at school who don't like me. Just be true to yourself, and the right people will like you." I've thought about this for a while, and Mr. Fleming, being one of the coolest people I've met, I found it hard to believe that people didn't like him. But it is very understandable with his flamboyant personality. This really motivated me to become my own person, not someone who shrouds themselves in apologies and timidness. I want to speak my opinions freely, and I want to be able to voice them in a strong manner. The only problem is I'm terrified of this. When it comes down to it, fear has really dictated my choices in being apologetic and unassertive. I'm afraid of saying my opinions because I'm afraid that the people I care about will think less of me. I'm afraid that they won't want to be around me anymore. I'm afraid that people will judge me as a leader and talk about me behind my back. But in the end, I know these fears have no basis, and that I need to attack them head on. That's why I've become a Toastmaster. I wish to increase my vocal skills and practice speaking in front of large groups to rid myself of these fears. And if I can do that, I know that in the end I'll be a better leader and a more true person of myself. Thank you.